So yesterday, something interesting kind of happened. It has to deal with a little bit of the AOC calling out Jill Stein earlier this week. And of course, we here at Heartlands Media, we talked about it, how AOC, being a hypocrite that she is blaming the Greens for not being serious, that they are disruptors, that they're taken away from the movement, even though there's no such thing as a progressive movement in the Democratic Party, because let's face it, the two-party system, and most notably the Democrats, are more than happy to keep the system the way it is. AOC, once the darling of the progressive movement, turns out it was all one big joke. And just as Democrats' brand new Congress, our revolution, DSA, have failed miserably. And yet, the thing is, when the Greens do come around, because let's face it, folks, there are many obstacles holding back the Greens at the state and federal level. And of course, there's many things that the Greens have done as well to hinder their movement. But the fact you have Democrats like AOC having the audacity of saying, oh, well, how dare the Greens get involved in this election cycle and calling them not serious? Well, AOC, I mean, you've gone to bat now for the Democratic establishment for so long. I mean, I can't believe anyone took you seriously. Hell, I fell for it too. It was a great trick, but remind you, to all of you, never, ever, ever fall for the Democratic establishment or Republican establishment's tricks, because that's what they do. So I just want to pull up this article here because it kind of leads into the beginning of just how things have gone so crazy. So as we all know, and we've talked about this already, you're not serious. A feud between AOC and the Green Party's Jill Stein explained. Now, I could go through this article. We could play the video of AOC being critical of,
Y'all, this is a little spicy. But I feel...
And my apologies, folks. The audio is not working. Let me go ahead and unmute. There you go.
Like, I should save this for a live. I'm not coming for people who are thinking about this. I'll talk to you. What I have a problem with is the fact that if you are running for president, you are the de facto leader of your party. And first of all, trust me on this. I run as a third party candidate in New York. I'm also run as a Working Families Party candidate.
And as I found out, a Working Families Party is just a branch of the Democratic Party. And thanks to a good friend of the show, Roger Meadows, who explained that, yes, you can run as another party in the great state of New York. However, again, AOC running as a third-party candidate, well, gee, that's like saying that the sky is pink and all the water around the world is dry.
In addition to running as a Democrat, because trust me, I've been on record about my criticisms of a two-party system. So this is not about that. But you are the leader of your party. And if you run for years and years and years and years and years in a row, and your party has not grown, and you don't add city council seats, and you don't add down ballot candidates, and you don't add state electeds, that's bad leadership. And that to me is what's upsetting. Because if you have been your party's nominee for 12 years in a row, 4 years ago and 4 years before that and 4 years before that, and you cannot grow your movement pretty much at all and can't pursue any successful strategy, and all you do is show up once every 4 years to speak to people who are justifiably pissed off, but you're just showing up once every 4 years to do that, you're not serious. You're not to me, it does not read as authentic. It reads as predatory. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it. Because as a person, I endorse Working Families Party candidates. I endorse DSA candidates. I take risks, and I endorse even in primaries against Democrats when it's merited. What does this person do to grow power for the...
Yes. So the reason why I played it is because, look, we already did a good teardown. And by the way, my live stream audience, where in the world did you learn to talk like this? Shame on you. It's like almost you learned it from a show you're watching to be mean. Shame on all of you. So why are we talking about this? Well, because there's a fight a brewing. I know a fight is a brewing. And is it wrong to cover this? Yes and no. But I think it's important we do, because I know that sometime in October, as we inch closer and closer to election night, we are about to see the tried and true classic of, you guys better not support third parties because we got to stop Trump. Trump's a very, 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 very bad man, and we got to stop the evil boogeyman. Woogie, boogie, 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 boogie. But no, folks. I think it's important that we continue calling out the Democrats. And I find it interesting, especially after Biden dropped out, how many people just decided to skip and hop and sing and be joyful, be filled with joy that Kamala and Waltz are going to save the quote-unquote day. And so I want to play this video from Brianna Joy Gray's show, Bad Face Podcast, where Seba Sabs, everybody's favorite Seba Sabs, was joining in on the conversation. Now, the thing is, they don't name drop anybody. But see, if you are a thin-skinned person, you can be like, oh, are they talking about me? But again, shout out to Brianna Joy Gray. But I mean, honestly, no, she is absolutely correct on this. Like, she is shocked by how many people have lost their ability to think critically about the Democrats.
I'm honestly like shocked to my core by who I've seen in our media environment completely flip. People who I genuinely like and have respect for the work that they do. So I'm like really trying very hard to keep individual names out of it. But I think you know the group that I'm alluding to. I mean, there are people who fully endorse Jill Stein who are now talking about Kamala like being better than Biden and improving agendas, and all she has to do is signal in this way and that way. And I think you made a really important point, which is that we prided ourselves as leftists kind of in the Bernie sphere of understanding to judge candidates on the basis of the money they take and the people they're beholden to. And to look at Kamala Harris with her multi-millions from AIPAC and a bunch of other big Zionist donors and not have any skepticism of this. The same way that there are these people on the right now, of course, who are looking at Tulsi Gabbard hugged up with Rabbi Shmuley, and RFK Jr. obviously hugged up with Rabbi Shmuley, and making the case that Trump is going to be good on this issue, are also crazy. But I don't have expectations of them. I have higher expectations of my friends on the left who purported to know better. And
again, she's not name dropping anybody. But if you're a thin-skinned, small-brained person, you want to make it about yourself. Are you talking about me?
I don't really understand it. Speaking, however, of Bernie Sanders, did you happen to catch his interview with Hassan Minhaj this week?
I did.
Oh, you did? Let's play a quick clip, and then I want to get your response.
I have so many friends that were Bernie or bust. And when you didn't win in 2016 or 2020, they bust. They checked out of politics, and then they hard pivoted into Bitcoin.
Really?
Then they pivoted into ketamine and Zen. Let's see where that goes. But they are despondent. What do you say to my friends who now feel like you may be falling in line a little bit too much with the corporate Democratic?
Here's what I got to say to Bernie. Right here, buddy. Right here, amigo. That's it. Hey, you played a good game. You know, you talked all that good stuff. And I'll admit it, you inspired me to do Hard Lens Media. Me and Daniel were inspired by the words of Bernie Sanders. But my goodness, I never seen a cuck. This guy's more cuck to the Democratic establishment than the most cuckiest cuck in world history.
Establishment.
At this particular moment in history, and perhaps in any moment in history, despair is not an option. To say, well, I supported Bernie, he didn't win, I'm going into Bitcoin. Sorry, not good enough.
That's going to be your most controversial statement of this whole interview.
All right, so I think if you are human.
Okay, and again, Bitcoin, look, I got my opinions on, electric currency, Bitcoin, all this e-currency, whatever you want to call it, right? All right, that's like, oh no, Bernie Sanders supporters, congratulations. Now you're all being paintbrushed into being Bitcoin buyers. Congratulations, you did it. Not only in 2016 and 2020, where everybody smeared as a straight white male. That means women, Black men, Latinos, Asians, everybody, even the LGBTQ plus community. In 2016 and 2020, if you were a Bernie Sanders supporter, congratulations. You became a straight white male, because that's what they said. That's what the media said, and the media never lies. Y'all became straight white males. Now you're all Bitcoin users, every single one of you. Shame on you. How dare you?
Human being who wants to live in a sane and decent society, who is concerned about your kids, you know what? Sorry, You don't have a right to check out. That's a privilege you don't have.
All right. So LOL at Bernie not really getting the joke. But, at the end, Hassan gets in a substantive question, right? One the likes of which I don't think I've ever seen Bernie ask because he doesn't sit down with leftists anymore, much like AOC. But, what do you say to people who feel like you've sold out, that you've gone too corporate? Bernie sort of sidesteps the question and pivots it to this thing that we hear folks say all the time, which is the straw man of, well, you can't be a non-participant. You can't sit this out. What do you make of that?
I think that's an excuse for Bernie Sanders because the reality is votes have to be earned. No one owes you their vote. And Bernie Sanders in particular, there are a number of places that I would go into with caution if I were to approach people again and ask them, could you donate to a politician? Even when it comes to third party, I am very hesitant because a number of those people donated what they had left to Bernie Sanders, poor people, lower income people, because they believed that he was going to fight for them.
Now, great conversation. Please check out the full interview. But apparently, somebody got a little bit perturbed. The boys from the Vanguard got a little bit perturbed by that. So I want to pull up this little tweet from Easy Street. It's really not that hard to grasp why people don't take a candidate polling at 1% 8 weeks away from the presidential election seriously. We have all come to terms with the fact that we need to negotiate with Kamala. Guys, all we got to do is negotiate with Kamala. It'll be fine. Even though Biden gave a middle finger to progressives, Bernie Sanders, and AOC 3.5 years of his presidency. It's okay. Everyone, stop what you're doing. We can negotiate with Kamala because she could be our Mamalo, right? That's what Kamala's going to do for us. She's going to sit down and negotiate instead of this crazy, don't blame me when Kamala Harris's bad attitude. Well, Vanguard, come on, take it easy, boyos. And of course, I want to just give a huge shout out to this ratio because Nick from RBN decided to chime in. He decided to chime in. I knew you would become a vote blue no matter who. Have you apologized to your audience about lying to them about John Fetterman yet? Again, awesome ratio. I thought I retweeted that. My goodness. But however, again, there seemed to be a lot of back and forth. And of course, these are some interesting highlights to share. Some fun stuff to look at because I find it to be a little bit hilarious. So let's go ahead and pull this up here. So you have, of course, the Vanguard, then get a little bit angry, a little bit back and forth of a fight. And trust me on it, folks. After election night, there's going to be a fight. There's going to be an online fight, flame war, rage war, whatever you want to call it. How many views is your channel getting, buddy? Pathetic pivot, considering number one, I don't care about views, and number two, I get way more views than you across platforms. Oof, come on, Nick, don't be mean. You have no credibility on the left, so you turn into a vote blue no matter who drama channel for the clicks and the views. Meanwhile, I race you in my sleep because I have support of more people. How does it feel to get massively ratioed by me over and over again? Stop it. Nick from RBN. It's like that scene from The Simpsons where Homer Simpson was crushing a clown and he's beating up the Hamburglar. Stop it. They're already dead. Look at this. The ratios are too much. Nick, stop what you're doing. Okay? And of course, Vanguard. But nobody watches your podcast. Oh, I've seen RBN. People watch their show. You getting ratioed again? Where are your people at? Also, love how you guys are revealing yourselves as grifters who only cover topics and take positions based on views. Thanks for telling on yourself. I love having the dumbest enemies. By the way, again, and of course, they use the old classic going after Jimmy Dore. You had your daddy Jimmy on your show last week and still couldn't crack 10K. But thanks for reminding everyone of Aaron going to bat for a Zionist warmonger. You were right about that, too. That's hilarious. Imagine getting ratioed this bad by me over and over and trying to imply you have more support than us. You had to go full Democrat and you're still getting ratioed by me, which is funny. I find it funny. Okay. And again, they go on and keep on saying, I ratioed these clowns to oblivion multiple times and now they have Nick derangement syndrome. Okay. I interview people from all over the world. I had people from China, UK, Brazil, Mexico, Russia, all over the world just in the last few weeks. But notice how they have to bring up Jimmy. That's how desperate they are. Jimmy is just one of dozens of people. So there you go. So again, where's the support at? Where's the support at? Vanguard. It's funny when you really think about it, but also, again, the desperation. I want to pull up this video here from Due Dissidents. Just even looking at some of their videos talking about Tim Walz. I mean, they're making this guy out to be bigger than Jesus when his own family is supporting Trump.
The Vanguard boys have been really cashing in on this Tim Walz pick. Good for them. I mean, they needed a boost. But you look at their last 7 videos have been Walz. Everything Walz all the time. They were very excited about Tim Walz. They put this video out here. Tim Walz gets picked as VP. Here's a little excerpt from that. They are all in on Tim Walz and Kamala Harris now.
This was the best pick Kamala Harris could have possibly made. Tim Walz being a heartbeat away from the presidency absolutely is enough for me to 100% be excited about and vote for Kamala Harris in November.
There you go. They're all in.
That's
all
it. They're all in. They're all in. That's all it took. Hadn't they endorsed Jill Stein previously? Weren't they?
I don't know. I mean, I don't stay up to date enough.
Yeah,
but
we haven't done a segment on them in a very long time for obvious reasons.
This will kill her momentum. You endorsed her yesterday. 1 day ago, you were on board. This will kill her momentum. Tone deaf and entitled. So much better. See, that's it. You throw them a line of bullshit. We respect you. We hear you. Now back to the Project 2025 show. That's how it's done.
That is why, people ask, most people understand, but some people, why you slam these commentaries? This is why, because it's so fucking obvious that they're all just waiting to sheepdog people back into the Democratic Party. Any pretenses at radicalism they might make, it's just a grift. None of these people mean anything. They have no convictions. They just go where they think the money is going to be. And hey, man, look at those pod save guys. I told you what, they got people paying over $200 freaking dollars to see those schmucks live.
Oh, I didn't know that. Really? That's not true. Hold on. Live on air. We got to keep on checking this out. Hold on. I got to play we're going to rewind at YouTube rewind time. But if that's true, come on, man. $200 see pod save. No. If you're going to be doing an event to see your people, make it for free. Invite them. Have people talk to you. Outreach, that kind of stuff. You're going to have people spend $200 just to hear you talk? No. They can listen to that for free by clicking on the podcast or the YouTube channel. No. Oh, that's terrible. That's horrible. Oh, to the fan base of Pod Save America. No. Don't do that. I mean, that's something like Fresh and Fit does. No, you don't want to do what Fresh and Fit does. That's terrible. Man, that can't be true.
Fucking obvious that they're all just waiting to sheepdog people back into the Democratic Party. Any pretenses at radicalism they might make, it's just a grift. None of these people mean anything. They have no convictions. They just go where they think the money is going to be. And hey, man, look at those pod save guys. I told you what, they got people paying over $200 freaking dollars to see those schmucks.
Oh my God, it's true. This is terrible. Really? Yo, hold on. God damn. It's not exactly $200, but it's close to it. My God, look at this. $121, $51. No, seriously, to listen to Pod Save America? Oh my God. No thanks for cookies. What? Look at this. I get it, but my God, just to hear them talk? Join former Obama aides John Favreau, John Lovett, Dan Pfeiffer for in real life, no bullshit conversations about this critical election year with journalists, politicians, activists on the front line. Are you kidding me? And people are paying money for this? Oh, even in Philadelphia, too. No, not Philadelphia. Oh, my God. Oh, I wasn't prepared for that. Okay, I wasn't prepared for that.
It's just a grift. It's none of these people mean anything. They have no convictions. They just go where they think the money is going to be. And hey, man, look at those pod save guys. I told you what, they got people paying over $200 freaking dollars to see those schmucks live.
Right.
Everyone's trying to get in on that. Everyone's trying to get in on that. Everyone wants to make that money. It is much easier to make that money if you play along with the establishment. And then if you pretend to have some kind of outsiderness, some kind of independent judgment, then you can suck in some of the people who like to see themselves as not as Kool-Aid drinking and indoctrinated as the MSNBC folks. That's what the Vanguard is for. That's what the Majority Report is for. That's what the Young Turks is for.
Oh.
It is for people who are going to be too embarrassed to be running around touting what Joy Reid said last night. It gives them another way to essentially have the same politics, but feel cool about it.
It's not wrong. By the way, I want to read this message from Wendy Carballo. Does anyone remember the Greaseman's radio show? Hubby, isn't that lovely? Hubby and I went to his show live in the radio station, and it was free. Exactly. So, okay, what is the takeaway from this? Is this typical YouTube commentator drama? Yeah, it is a little bit, but its origin is based on AOC's cringe Instagram video being critical of Dr. Jill Stein. Now, look, third parties have a right to run. And if the Democrats are so confident in their victory, they would not be bending over backwards with lawsuit after lawsuit, petition after petition, trying to remove the Greens from the ballot. And again, the Democrats, especially them at the various states, are also showing their utter hypocrisy by refusing to remove RFK Jr.'s name from key battleground swing states, which again, each state is different. But notice, they were on a super fast rush to try and remove RFK Jr., but now that he has suspended his campaign and endorsed Trump, now they want to keep his name in certain key battleground swing states just so that his name is still there. Which, again, look, third parties have a right to run. The Greens have a right to run. And it's also important for us to be critical of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz because let's face it, what is Kamala's policies? What are they? What has she done? So we'll play the game. Maybe the Vanguard boys can respond to this. What are her policies? Well, here we go. She's asking for money. Still no policies, but hey, I'm going to be honest and refresh the page. Here we go. Nothing yet. No policies. Donate. Hey, questions. What are they? And it's all about dollars. Where does my money go? Money us now. Where does the money go? But maybe they updated the store. Maybe they did. Nope. No new updates, no new policies, no nothing. Nothing is happening, nothing of consequence. So what can we take from this? Vanguard getting ratioed by Nick. It is to be expected. It's not the first time, nor the last time the Vanguard's been dragged through the coals by RBN. It seems like maybe they got like a perverse enjoyment of it, whatever. It's to happen, but I expect things to get a little bit crazier as we reach into October, going into November. And depending on how election night turns out, whether Trump is victorious or Kamala, there will still be the ridiculous back and forth of, oh, it's your fault that things aren't this way, or how dare you criticize the Democrats. You know, I get it, the comfort of trying to defend something that you care about, but you have to be critical of the political system. And AOC, Bernie, and anybody else that claimed to be a progressive currently serving in Washington, D.C., have failed us as citizens. They never got anything from the Biden-Harris administration, but somehow the Vanguard boys are believing we can negotiate with Kamala. She didn't let the uncommitted people speak. And hell, they were playing and following the orders and rules from the DNC. I was there at the DNC convention. Vanguard, were you there? Where were you at? I know Due Dissidence was looking for you. RBN was looking for you. You know who wasn't out there, though? Kamala or the Democrats speaking to the protesters or the uncommitted voices. They weren't there. And I think I'm going to end this segment with a commentary from one of our viewers. Edward Shore. The Democrats are scared. They can't win a fair election. And to anybody that's going to bat for those sycophants or those jag-off bastards in the Democratic Party, you're living in your own reality. I mean, if you're all in for the Democrats, just go ahead, wait in line with Sammy Boy Cedar, and get that nice NBC check. Trust me in it. It'll be worth it. You'll finally be embracing what you want to be, and that is a vote blue no matter who sellout.